Hi Oilers, I'm Luke Wagner, and welcome to Campus Update. Are you in the mood for something spooky? Well, as spooky as musical comedy can get. Ab is about to bring us the stage version of the Mel Brooks classic film, Young Frankenstein. Here's what we found out.
The musical takes place where me, Dr. Frederick Frankenstein, or Frankenstein, finds out that his grandfather's estate in Transylvania is being collected by the bank. So I go to Transylvania and end up getting wrapped up in my whole family's history of creating monsters and stuff like that.
It's very old humor. This musical is based off of a 1970s movie by Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder, and they wrote it with an almost, with kind of a who's on first style of comedy.
My favorite part of the show is definitely the comedy because it's such a classic movie, but I think the real challenge of it is trying to recreate it, but not trying to recreate it, trying to make it your own. But it's so fun being able to explore the acting and the comedy in rehearsals.
It offers up a lot. Visually, the show is amazing. It's all big. It looks great.
Young Frankenstein is such a great musical. People are going to love it. It is hilarious. It's joke after joke after joke. It's nonstop. The big dance numbers are so fun. It's classic musical theater, musical comedy. It's just so entertaining and so fun for everyone to watch. Young Frankenstein is playing from March 16th to the 18th and the 23rd to the 25th in the Baca Auditorium.
You're not going to sit there and be bored. It constantly gives you something to laugh at, something to entertain you. It's really good. You should come see it.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go, why don't you go where Shane sits, or limps, in this episode of Shane's Survival Guide.
Shane, are you there?
Hey, Campus Update. Shane here. Holidays. Halloween. Deck the halls. I have no idea what any of that has to do with what I'm saying, but here's how to survive hallways. Tip number 1. You know that awkward moment when you don't know where to go around someone in the hallway? Oh, sorry. Make it more awkward to make it less awkward. Add a juke or a spin move to add some flair. Tip number 2. Say you're approaching a turn. Take them wide. Don't take them too narrow, or you could run into someone going the opposite way. Oh, sorry, man. Like that. Tip number 3. There's always that one group that takes up the entire hallway. Stand your ground. They'll go around eventually.
Even further beyond!
Nerd! See? Tip number 4. Make sure your shoes are tied, or else you might just scrap that one. Tip number 5. Be careful of doors that open the opposite direction. Oh good, I'm not dreaming. Well, this has been Shane's Declassified Hallway Survival Guide. Don't hit doors. Alright, so a little behind the scenes. That last take where I get hit by the door, that was the 4th or 5th take. The first take, the door peeled back my big toenail. Where's Hayden? Oh! So I'm gonna have to be on crutches for a bit. But now you know. Stay safe in the hallways.
We hope for a total recovery for Shane. Watching him limp around makes me think about the state of discourse in this country, as for the last year and a half we've been subjected to mind-numbing 24-hour news cycle. It makes it hard to keep up with current events. That's where Emma comes in and saves the day with another edition of 60-Second World News.
Hey Oilers, Emma Sexton here, and today we're going to talk about some more world news, things that happened and are happening from last week. On Friday of last week, the Paralympics started. The USA has been reigning champs for the past 2 games and hope to take home the most medals this year as well. We believe in our athletes. Also, quite controversially, North Korea will be represented in the games for the first time ever. Speaking of North Korea, Kim Jong-un has agreed to peace talks with President Trump later in the year, and until then he has promised to freeze nuclear testing. Recent diplomatic relations opening with South Korea have leaders hoping for some type of peace between the nations, but we'll have to wait for the actual talks to see results. Also, last week the Oscars happened, and even though everyone basically already knows it's a sham, I'm going to tell you about the only 3 awards anyone really cares about, so if you decided not to sit through the entire 4-hour program, you'll be all caught up. The award for Best Actress went to Frances McDormand for her performance in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. The award for Best Actor went to Gary Oldman for his role as Winston Churchill in The Darkest Hour, and last but not least, Best Picture went to The Shape of Water. Thank you for watching 60-Second News, folks. We'll see you in a couple weeks, and now it's back to you, Luke, in the studio.
Are you hungry? No? It's 9 in the morning? Well, too bad. Aaron and Dylan went to scope out some delicious burgers at Sammy's in this edition of HB Bites.
Hey Oilers, it's Dylan. We're in front of Sammy's Burgers, Subs, and Tacos. It's good if you want to get burgers, subs, or tacos, or any Mexican food in general. It's off Bolsa Chica and Warner. My favorite food is the burgers and the fries. I don't want to try anything else.
But we're gonna make him try something else. Let's go!
Sammy's Burgers is a local restaurant which has both traditional Mexican food and American food as well, such as subs, Philly cheesesteak, and hamburgers. This place is located off Warner and Bolsa Chica. It's a great place for a quick, cheap bite to eat that is also quality.
See you next time.
Awesome. Well, that's our show, Oilers. The camera up in the rafters is a little on the fritz, so I'm going to sit here awkwardly as the credits roll past my face.